Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I ship fish, and this is just some of the stuff you're going to need if you're going to ship fish. I use styrofoam home insulation panel, about 3/4 inch thick, USPS Priority Mail box cutter, 72-hour heat pack, packing tape, breather bag, some different insulation such as memory foam, insulated heat bag, some wool insulation, and a pup. Most importantly, 72-hour heat pack, depending on where you're shipping to, what the weather is, you got to check all that, and a scale to weigh your drugs. So this is the box. I label it fragile, and it's always a medium flat rate box. I found that this is the best for the heat pack. It helps the heat disperse the best, and I always write live fish on there, let people know who they're dealing with. I use 3 sets of tape at least minimum on the bottom there to hold the box together, and make sure it's pretty. It's important. And then you'll take the styrofoam insulation, you'll cut it to size, fit it in there, and in the end you're going to have, the sides and the top and the bottom. You want the heat insulation, heat guard on the outside, and you want to have some ventilation holes, preferably at least on one corner. It's got to be perfect. You can't, you have to make sure this is absolutely perfect. Clean edges all over the place. There can be no imperfections. This is absolutely paramount. So then you're going to take your insulated bag, fill it with memory foam, and place it in this box. Kind of pack it in there towards the outside, the 4 corners, and you're going to cut the bag in a way where it's foldable. And you'll see why when we put the heat pack in here. As you can see, it's pretty easy to close up. Okay, so you want to make sure that's ready to go. Then you take your fish, rare fish here. We're going to pour them into this cup with the breather bag inside of it. Really clean water, right? Want to make sure it's nice and clean. You don't want to have dirty water. Oh, you want to be real careful with this when you're putting the fish in there. Sometimes it'll take a few times, and the most important thing is just remain calm while you're doing this, so the fish aren't freaked out on their voyage. They're kind of going into a slumber. You want to make sure it's nice and calm, and usually 3rd time's a charm. So here we go. This is this one's much better. So yeah, we'll take the fish, and then you'll put them into the box very gently, very calmly. So you want to take it very gently, put them in there, and this is what it should look like. You want to take them in there very gently, place them in there, nice and calm, like say sweet, kind words. I love you, fishies. I love you very much. Bless your soul. It's going to be okay. So you'll have your box. Everything's ready to go. Place those fishies in there very, very gently. And kind of in the middle, and I'll put them horizontally, because the bag's not a perfect circle. I'll have 2 ends facing a corner, and I'll kind of leave a little bit of a concave for them to be set in the middle, and then take the memory foam and kind of powder it on top and around the bag so it secures the bag. And this stuff works really well it retains heat really well, so that's why I like to use it. I just had a big bean bag actually, and I was like, I wonder if this would work. So I found out it does. And, if you sit on a bean bag that's full of memory foam very often, you'll kind of see that it really retains heat really well. So, and it breathes. So I'll put this in here. Now your 72-hour heat pack, you need to wrap it up so it's not fully exposed. For 2 reasons. You don't want it touching the bag or getting around in the box. And you also don't want it to blow out too quickly. The longer that thing lasts, the better, which means the less oxygen that hits it right off the bat is the longer it'll last. Fold it up like this, and then you want to take the corners and very gently, very safely cut some holes in the corners there so that heat pack can breathe through the insulation here, and it's not just completely just hot box in there gonna boil your fish. And you can see the heat pack right there is exposed slightly. When you put the styrofoam top over this and you close the box, there's not a lot of oxygen that comes in or out, but there is some. So it can breathe and heat will escape. So that's what you want. You want to breathe, be able to breathe, but not so much. These fish don't need that much air. Then you're gonna take your box, your 3 pieces of tape, and then the secret sauce is you need to have a Chinese chopstick with Chinese calligraphy on it, very important, into the corner there, so that you have one little hole that can get rid of excess heat. Make sure you put a heart on it, give it credibility. Make sure the post office thinks it's coming from a woman. As you can see, I take the shipping of my fish very seriously. If I thought for a second that I couldn't have a 100% success rate in shipping them, I wouldn't do it. I love these fish more than anything. Now, there's a few tips I could give you from experience. I never ship anything smaller than a medium USPS Priority Mail box. I feel that the 72-hour heat pack really matches well with the dimensions of it, and they synchronize, they work really well. I could use a larger box, but still I would rather ship 2 medium flat rate boxes than 1 large, just because of how well the heat pack works. I never put more than 4 guppies or endlers in a large breather bag. If you have them in there and they're in there for longer than 72 hours and you have more than 4 fish, their waste could add nitrates to the water and they could die in transit from the toxicity in the water. So it's important that you fill that bag as much with water as you can while tying it off properly, and never having more than 4. That's not including maybe a couple fry. Also, I do not ship below 40 degrees or above 90 degrees. And I will check where I'm shipping from here in Las Vegas, in between where it's going to and the final destination. And if all of those temperatures in between highs and lows are between like 65 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I won't add a heat pack. It doesn't need it. Most of the time this box spends in air conditioning. It's in a truck which is somewhat air conditioned, and the truck goes into a warehouse which is somewhat conditioned, and then it's on an airplane where the cargo bin it could be on is not really air conditioned. So that's really my biggest concern. That's what I prepare for. It's easier to ship fish in colder weather because the insulation works better at retaining heat than it does keeping it out. If I'm shipping to somewhere around 40 degrees, I'll go an extra step and I'll add extra insulation in between all of the styrofoam, the insulated bag, the memory foam, and I'll add extra wool and all sorts of stuff in there just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. I'm sure I missed something. If there are any questions, please leave a comment below and I will answer that. And make sure and check out my website in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.